Hello once again, my beautiful residents of Dangerville. I'm gonna sound the red alert because it's that time again. Yes, we have another trailer for Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and it's no ordinary trailer. It's the final trailer. Stick around for all the juicy details and a snippet of our upcoming 3D animation that's coming in June. Please excuse my nasally voice, I've got a cold, which is great! Reminder that this will contain light spoilers, but as far as final trailers go, the spoilers are fairly minimal, and there's almost no spoilers regarding the story's twists and turns. But for all those that are staying with us, you have been warned. Let's get to it! This trailer has tons of new awesome clips throughout, including shots of Godzilla and Ghidorah in the midst of a brawl. But let's start right from the beginning. The first shot we see is of the oil refinery somewhere in the Middle East. The clip is slightly extended and we see the legs of the insect-like kaiju that's rumoured to be called Baphomet rising out of the ground. Next we see the clips that have been circulating throughout the trailers from the very beginning. Still awesome, but more of the same. Which is of course a good thing because it means there's still things that will surprise us when we finally see the full films in theatres. Though from this clip of Rodan we appear to have a snippet of his roar, and I don't know if it's just me, but his roar sounds an awful lot like the baby T-Rex's cries from The Lost World.
That's messed up.
We also get a nice wholesome clip of Millie Bobby Brown's character, Madison Russell, smiling as she gleefully meets Mothra for the first time, and she pulls the same face that I'm sure every Godzilla fan was making when they first watched this trailer. Next we see a close-up of Rodan's face as he opens his eyes, which may very well be the first time he's witnessed a world completely ruled by humanity, and I can't imagine that he's very happy about it. The lava looks to just rip right from his face and he makes no notice of it, which is just pretty badass if I say so myself. Talking about reveal shots, the next clip is of Ghidorah as he's just released from his glacial prison in the Antarctic. The lightning strikes and we get more amazing cinematography that I'm sure will flood the film. If you've seen the 5-minute clip of this, then you know how incredible the tone and pacing of this scene is. We hear Kyle Chandler's character, Mark Russell, giving us some context on what the monsters are doing, that they're hunting, following the Alpha. We can assume that Rodan will automatically challenge his winged brethren, but it's likely that this shot of Ghidorah on the volcano is just after Rodan is fought and defeated by Ghidorah, and following this Rodan will be on his side. That is at least until Godzilla joins the fight and shows Ghidorah what it means to be an alpha. Throughout the fight though, it's assumed that Mothra will either be neutral or on Godzilla's side. What is a king without his queen after all? We next see a whirlpool emanating fluorescent blue light that reminds me of Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds from 2005, and we're given the same amazing scene of Godzilla rising out of the ocean to gather his army of monsters and humans to fight against a common enemy. By this point I'm sure you've already noticed that we hear an extended version of the Somewhere Over the Rainbow track that's been previously used in the beautiful trailer, and here it's sounding particularly epic. The next shot is another angle from the moment Rodan wakes up from his volcanic hibernation, and we see it from the perspective of those in the water. Now it's these kind of shots that I love to see in a Godzilla film, angles from humanity's perspective that really brings it home and makes it feel more grounded and realistic. The fact that we look up to see all this happening makes the scale of the film even larger, and we next see Rodan climbing out of the volcano before flying over to the town in Mexico to wreak havoc for the citizens that reside there. We see some very human moments like a mother reaching out for her son as the military struggles to keep a hold of him. This shot reminds me of the scene from 1954 when a mother holds her child before being killed by Gojira, but hopefully this scene in King of the Monsters will have a happier ending. Dr. Emma Russell is overheard talking about setting Godzilla free, potentially after losing a fight to Ghidorah, and laid on top of the audio we see Serizawa laying down some sort of device that may recover Godzilla or give him some energy that he needs to fight. This may very well be Serizawa's final moments in the film, as he needs to manually detonate the device. There's no better and more fitting way for this character to go than to save Godzilla, which mirrors how he died in the original by killing Gojira. I'm sure tears will be shed at this moment in the film. The next notable scene involves this clip of the Argo firing missiles at Ghidorah and seemingly having a pretty adverse effect. He looks to be stunted for just a moment, which is potentially all the humans needed before Godzilla was able to power up his attack. Next, we see Dr. Emma Russell detonating small explosives that release Ghidorah as she tells what we presume to be her daughter, Madison, to run. But what we see next is definitely the most defining moments in the trailer. A clash between the king and his challenger, the two titans locked in combat. But Ghidorah has the advantage of agility and is able to lunge each one of his heads into a biting position on Godzilla's neck. And my god, does it look brutal. I actually gasped when I saw this. This is the kind of action die-hard fans have been waiting decades to see. This bite actually harks back to the moments from the classic films like Final Wars and Giant Monsters All-Out Attack. The force of this attack pushes Godzilla right over onto his back, which is a really bad position for animals in nature to be in. But what we see next is probably the most revealing plot point in the trailer. Of course, we see what was thought to be Ghidorah or Rodan falling from the sky, but let me show you this next shot. Now, what does this look like to you? That, my residents, is Godzilla. Now let me play a clip from one of my previous analysis videos.
King Ghidorah picked Godzilla up, Pacific Rim style, and dropped him from the stratosphere, and that the burning object seen in the trailer is Godzilla falling with such velocity that he burns up in the atmosphere.
Now, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. No one believed me, but is this enough evidence for you? Clearly Ghidorah has the strength to lift Godzilla right into the stratosphere, high enough to drop him and cause him to burn in Earth's atmosphere. This scene is going to be absolutely mind-blowing in IMAX theaters. One can only imagine the sound it's going to produce when he makes that impact. Most of the rest of the trailer are just extended clips from what we've seen before, including this shot of Rodan spinning and being fired at, Ghidorah and Rodan clashing for the first time in the film, Mothra's beautiful face close up to the camera, and Godzilla and Ghidorah tangled up in a fight in the ocean. But we do also get some new shots of our main boy, like this stunning shot of Godzilla looking beautiful in the moonlight, his atomic breath destroying what seems to be some kind of facility, as well as Godzilla grabbing onto one of the buildings for support as he's potentially low on energy. But just look at his face, there's more emotion in these shots than there are throughout the entirety of the Lion King trailer. His face just reads that he's tired, injured, but resilient. He knows he's got to fight and restore balance, even if it's the last thing he does. This next shot is of Madison Russell screaming, potentially in anger, which is cut alongside Godzilla's atomic breath blasting Ghidorah a couple hundred feet away, which hints at a possible connection between the two as they mirror each other's actions. And finally we get to see the classic shot of our two main titans running towards each other at full speed. There's just so much anger, so much hatred towards each other.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation.
Excited would be an understatement to describe how I feel about this movie right now. This may very well be the greatest monster film to ever be released, if the trailers have anything to say about it at least. Even with all the clips and trailers we've been given, there's still over 2 hours worth of footage that we have yet to witness, so I wouldn't be too worried about the whole film being spoiled for us just because we see a couple awesome shots in the trailers. With Avengers only days away, now is the time to start pushing King of the Monsters to people that aren't normally fans of giant monsters. Share the trailer, tell your friends about it, remind them to watch the film. Let's make King of the Monsters a success, and maybe we'll see MonsterVerse films continue past Godzilla vs. Kong. I hope you enjoyed the analysis of Godzilla King of the Monsters' final trailer. If you did, be sure to give this video a like and leave a comment on what your favourite part of it was. Remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel and join Dangerville by becoming a resident today. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, because as we near Godzilla's release, I'm sure we'll see more news, and you know where the best place to hear it is. I've been Alistair from Dangerville, and residents, thank you for watching.